What's up everyone, my name is Ron from Comics and Stuff, and for today's episode we are going over the X-Men 97 Goblin Queen Madelyne Pryor action figure brought to you by Hasbro. Now, ever since the whole Engine of Vengeance, where she was a tier, I've been wanting a Madelyne Pryor action figure. I'm pretty sure many people wanted a Madelyne Pryor action figure in their collection. And I saw her at Comic-Con, she looked great. This one, we finally get one. Of course, it is done in the X-Men 97 form. So is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? We're going to get into it once we do get through the package. And the package is in a retro card showing off the X-Men 97 team right there. X-Men 97, Marvel Studios up there. Nice artwork of the Goblin Queen done in the X-Men 97 format. Warnings, Hasbro. And there is a plastic bubble, of course, showing the figure and all of her accessories. Little baby Nathan right there. Now heading to the back. Barcode, legalities, a nice product shot of the Goblin Queen as well as the other figures in the wave. I do got Nightcrawler, so expect a video on that soon. I'm also contemplating getting Executioner. The others don't really interest me much, but anyway, Marvel Legends series up there, X. And now that we went through the package, let's open it up and check out the figure. Alright, and here is the Goblin Queen figure outside of her package with all of her accessories, which might I add are all reused. Now we're going to get into it and go into detail with them, but first let's just measure her in because she is quite a bit on the tall side. Thanks to them high heels, she stands underneath 6.5 inches to the very tip of her hair. So again, she is a bit on the tall side. And again, these accessories are all reused. Starting with these fists, of course, she's gonna need them in order to punch some X-Men out and all of that. I'm not too mad. It does have some paint, and it's okay for what it is. Now we're gonna go to these sorcery effects, which we've seen everywhere. We've seen them with Jubilee, we've seen them with Scarlet Witch, we've seen them with Ghost Rider, and they're always in a different hue. This time done in a green. I don't know if we've seen green before, but it matches Madelyne Pryor, aka the Goblin Queen. And finally, spoiler alert guys, before I head into this is Baby Cable. Now Madelyne Pryor, again spoiler alert guys, I'm going to go into a quick little history. Madelyne Pryor is the clone of Jean Grey. So in the comics, made by Mr. Sinister, she marries Cyclops, they have a child, which later gets infected with a techno-organic virus by Apocalypse and needs to be sent to the future in order to heal him, which later grows up to be Cable and goes back in time, meets the X-Men. So this is a little baby Nathan Dayspring Askeny son Summers. And we have seen this baby, accessory before with the Old Man Logan as well as the Mystique VHS pack. This time, yeah, it's a different, it's a normal looking baby. There is no different skin hues or anything, wrapped in an X blanket that has some texture and X's all over except the back, which is a bit disappointing. I mean, they could have just put some on the back, but I do like it because it does fit Madelyne Pryor. Again, Madelyne Pryor is the mother of that child right there. Now, I want to say that this figure might not be the Madelyne Pryor that all of us, comic book fans are all accustomed to. The package does say Goblin Queen. And this figure itself got a bit of a rosy hue to her skin color. And again, it does seem to have that skin color, hue on the package. So that's maybe how the animated series X-Men 97 is going to depict her. At first, it bothered me. But the more I look at it, the more I don't get bothered. Of course, she is the Goblin Queen. So having a rosy hue like that would make her more goblin-esque. And, as per Madelyne Pryor, again, I don't think this is Madelyne Pryor because I don't know how they'll jam that kind of story in the animated series. This might just be another version of Jean Grey, which is what I'm thinking, because they didn't put Madelyne Pryor on the package. But when it comes to this figure, yeah, I'm not too mad with it. Madelyne Pryor, of course, is known for her black outfit. This is not that same outfit, but the blacks used got different shades of matte. So it helps break up the black quite a bit. The cape is malleable, it is tattered, and at the bottom, it is painted a nice crimson-like color with some texture. It does peg in the back, but it continues to the front where it seems to be glued on. Now, the pendant right here is a separate piece, which is a yellow separate piece painted with some red. And when it comes to the chest area, that's painted as well on top of the black. But I do like that the hues, the skin color there matches the hue on the face. Which, by the way, guys, I kind of like this face. Like, it looks like Jean, but not quite like Jean. So I do like it. The hair is swept out like, wind is pushing it, giving a nice effect like she's about to power up or something. There is no wash, there is no dry brushing, but the sculpt of it itself does remind me of Jean. There is eyeshadow on the eyes, that nice crimson for the lips. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't mind it at all, guys. I do like that head sculpt. And her fingernails are painted, but I will say that some spots do miss the mark. There is sculpt on the figure with those lines. Overall, I like how it looks, guys. Like I said, they did a good job breaking up the mat. And the mat does make it look quite awesome. As you guys can see, the cape does look pretty nice. But maybe the articulation will mess it up, guys. She does have a double ball peg up there. But because of her hair being all, nicely sculpted like that, it does afford her some tilt on her head. She does get some swivel before it starts impeding it. Yeah. She does look up. Not much at all. Basically straight. Down, however, she does give a bit. So I do like that. And her shoulders, again, guys, the hair doesn't impede it. So that's awesome because you could also do 360s without worries. And she does have a bicep cut that works. Pinless technology, double jointed elbow that gives her great range. Swivel and a hinge on the hands. And when it comes to the torso cut up there, I gotta say it does give her some range, particularly side to side like that. Yeah, that looks good. She does get rotation right there as well. Back does give her some, even though the cape wants to fight it. Forward, not too much at all. I wish there was like another cut right there at the diaphragm, but I mean at the torso, but yeah, at the diaphragm, whatever, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. But the legs split like this. Again, the cape impedes it, but the cape is malleable. So if you want splits, you can do it. She does kick forward that much, but be careful because you might scratch it up. Again, it is a very matte, color right there by her thighs. So be careful doing that. Going back just a tad, there is a thigh cut, double jointed pinless knees. I wish it could have gone a bit more, but it does the job. Now, ankles go up like this, back like that, and there is pivot. However, guys, because of her high heels, it's a bit difficult to, stand her straight without a stand. But now that we went through this Goblin Queen figure, let's compare her with some other X-Men figures that I got that will make some sense. And our first comparison will be with the X-Men 97 figures that I got so far. Right there on the left is the Magneto from the first wave. I might get the second wave Magneto. I haven't quite made up my mind on that. But to the right is the Nightcrawler from her own wave. I am working on his video as we speak, so go see that video depending on when you see this one, or stay tuned for it. You know what I mean, guys. Like I said earlier though, she does stand a bit on the tall side because of those heels. So she pretty much towers over both. Not even Nightcrawler's luxurious hair right there helps him out. So with that being said, let's head into the next comparison. And for this comparison, I just wanted to show how she looked like side by side with some of these X-Men 90s animated series VHS box set figures. Right there to the right, we got Wolverine. And to the left, we got the father of little baby Nathaniel Summers, Cyclops. Now, the scaling does not bother me one bit. Wolverine's supposed to be shorter, Cyclops being her same height. is, doable because she got her high heels. Now, for the whole aesthetic look, them being cel-shaded, she's not. It still works, I think, guys. They still got a cartoony feel about them. And for this comparison, because Madelyne Pryor in the comics is a clone of Jean Grey, I wanted to put her up against some versions of Jean Grey. Right there, all the way to the left, is the animated series VHS Jean Grey. Next to her is the old Phoenix figure with a Dark Phoenix Toys R Us exclusive head. If you guys remember the original head that came in this body, it's pretty horrendous. I opted for this one, and I definitely think we need an updated version of the original Phoenix. But with that being said, all the way to the right is the retro card Dark Phoenix. And to tell you the truth, guys, I actually like the size, the height differences. I mean, they're pretty much even. So yeah, I like how this looks. And our final comparison will be with what is essentially her creator. In the comic books, we got the VHS Mr. Sinister. And just like the other VHS figures, it looks good. He scales well. And spoiler alert, guys, again, Mr. Sinister is the maker of Madelyne Pryor. She is a clone in the comics of Jean Grey because Mr. Sinister here got an obsession with the Cyclops bloodline. Is this the storyline that they're going to stay with, or is it going to be altered in some way? Is this really Madelyne Pryor? Is it some version of Jean Grey? I'm super excited to find all this out. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about it though. So in conclusion, we needed a Madelyne Pryor figure. We got a Madelyne Pryor figure. Now, is it the Madelyne Pryor from the comic books? No, it's the X-Men 97 version. So, although the skin complexion, is a little off-putting for me, it's growing on me, and I don't know how she's being depicted in the cartoon. So I can't really fault them for that. The head sculpt is good. The articulation is a bit limiting, especially with those high heels, and the overall paint job, I kind of like it. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good figure. If you guys are interested in it, I will leave a link down in the descriptions. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like, comment, subscribe, because all of that stuff helps out the channel. My name is Ron from Comics and Stuff, and I'll check you guys on the next episode. Peace.